Hello everybody, my name is Connor. I usually play the son on Turning the Tables. This is a older video that we have stumbled upon on our computer, and we figured why not upload it. So yeah, if we look younger, it's because we are younger. We are young in that video. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Connor, here with my father,
Kevin.
and today we are back. The ruler is back. Jay, we're in Canada. Should I say Zed?
He's in Canada. He's JZ.
Yeah, that's what people call him up here.
Yeah.
JZ, no. Jay-Z, The Blueprint. It was big when it came out. It's probably the second biggest thing to happen on the day it released. September 11th, 2001. And it is a pretty iconic record. One of my favorites. I'm going to be honest. I don't go back to it like that often. And I haven't done a full listen in a while. But some of my favorite Jay-Z tracks are on here that I do go back to often. This is really Jay-Z getting his, becoming one of the greatest rappers. And you're seeing it happen on this record. He collaborates with an up-and-coming producer, soon-to-be rapper, Kanye West.
I know that guy.
He's got a lot of production credits on here. There's some shots at Nas. This was, during their beef. And it's going to be a fun listen. I think you'll like it because you like Jay-Z. And I think this is Jay-Z at his best.
At his best, number one.
Yeah, so let's get into it.
The Blueprint.
Track number 1, The Ruler's Back.
Nice. Nice little toms there, eh?
Yeah.
Gather round, hustlers, that's if you're still living. And get on down to that old jig rhythm. I'm too sexy for jail like I'm right, said Fred. I'm not guilty, give me back my bread. Mr. District Attorney, I'm not sure if they told you I'm on TV every day. Where the fuck could I go to? Plus,
Well, that fucking side stick?
Yeah, that's Kanye, man.
Oh.
Been fighting all his life, so the ruler's back.
Oh, yeah.
I knew you were like that.
Oh, fuck yeah. That shows royalty, eh?
Yeah.
The ruler, the fucking royalty, the horns. Yeah. You need those guys from England with the fucking, the beef eaters.
Yeah.
If you told me there'd be trombones on a Jay-Z, I'd be like, what?
Surprised?
Was it Kanye?
No, actually, it's not Kanye. I don't know if he had some production say in that, but that one is one of the producers that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
a couple on here.
That was fire, though.
Great way to start the
Wow,
record.
what a great thing. And I don't know if there was a connection with the whole ruler,
the horns.
king, queen, and then those fucking...
Yeah, it did feel very like
It was like
royalty.
Yeah,
and
they're coming
everything.
in and their fucking gates are opening at a castle and he's coming out
with a cigar.
With a cigar. And it's
Yeah, I'm back, bitches.
yeah. Great lyrics. What a way to come back, eh?
100%.
I just said A. Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
Canadian.
very Canadian.
A.
Next track, Takeover. This one is produced by Kanye.
Yeah.
Track number 2, Takeover.
ROC, we running this rap shit. Memphis Bleak, we running this rap shit. Hey, little soldier, you ain't ready for war.
That is so wicked.
Yeah.
It's growling.
A knife to a gunfight, pin to a test. Rockefeller is the army, better yet the Navy. Niggas will kidnap your baby, spit at your lady.
Holy shit, there's no fucking around here, eh?
You little fuck, I got money stacks bigger than you.
Holy
When I was
shit.
pushing weight back in '88, you was a ballerina. I got the pictures I seen.
Is it really?
Yeah, I love the Nas diss. I'm a Nas fan.
Yeah.
But this diss coming
Yeah.
up is just, I don't know. Jay-Z executed it perfectly.
Chris and Neat, we running this rap shit. I know you listen, Nas.
Oh, cool. David Bowie thing.
70 shots to your frame, nigga. Matter of fact, you had the worst flow on the whole fucking song. But I know the sun don't shine and sun don't shine. That's why your career's come to
Holy
an end.
fuck.
It's only so long fake thugs can pretend. smarten up, Nas. 4 albums in 10 years, nigga. I could divide, that's one every, let's say 2. 2 of them shits was due. One was the other was Illmatic. That's a one hot album every 10-year average. And that's
Holy shit.
Nigga, switch up your flow. Your shit is garbage. You trying to kick knowledge? Go play somewhere. I'm busy. And all you other cats throwing shots at Jigga, you only get half a bar. Fuck y'all niggas.
Jay, you sounded angry in that one.
He was pretty angry.
He was pretty angry.
And Ye brought that anger in the production with that heavy bass and those samples.
It just boom, boom.
I love the
boom.
sample ad-libs throughout the song.
Yeah.
The Nas diss, probably my favorite part of the song. I like the Mobb Deep diss too, but the Nas diss is great. I especially love the line where he says, you know, you weren't using your voice right. You made it a hit line. I made it a hit song or something like that. I'm out for dead presidents to represent me. So I'm out for dead presidents to represent me. So he took his vocal sample.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Have they made up?
that's the history of that line.
Have they made up?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think they're all right now.
They're cool now?
Yeah. I don't know if they're like best friends. I
Yeah.
don't think they're like cuddling or anything. But
I love verse 2 where it brings in, I know you miss it, Nas, the fame.
yeah,
With the David Bowie.
and the 10 album thing where he's
Yeah.
one every 10 or something.
Yeah. Illmatic.
Yeah, I disagree with that, Jay. I'm not gonna lie. I like some of Nas's stuff. I like it was written, and you know, I think Nas has a pretty solid discography. The problem with Nas is he dropped his best album first.
Yeah.
And then it's like, how can you compete with that? Track number 3, Izzo, H.O.V.A.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 8th wonder of the world. The flow of the century. Oh, it's timeless. But she's my kneesy, keep my arms so breezy. Can't leave rap alone, the game needs me. Van Moose, son of a bitch. H to the Izzo.
Oh.
To the Izzy. With Shizzle, my nizzle used to dribble down in VA.
This one's catchy as hell.
To the Izzy. I do this for my culture. To let them know what a nigga look like when a nigga in a roaster. B to the Izzy.
That's catchy as hell. I don't know what it means, but it's really catchy.
Feel me. H to
What?
the Izzo.
H to the Izzo. V to the Vizzy.
What's H.O.V.A?
Yeah.
H to the Izzo, V to the Izzy. H.O.V.A.
Oh, okay.
Because he goes by Hove or
Yeah.
H.O.V.A.
Yeah.
So H to the Izzo, so
Yeah,
H-O, V to the Izzy, H.O.V.A.
Okay, he's not Jehovah.
Not Jehovah.
Okay, because it would be Jehovah. Okay. Crazy to use that. You know.
Really cool sample flip.
Yeah.
Really fun track. That one, you could see people going crazy for that.
At the time. Oh, yeah.
Just A to the Izzo, V to the Izzy. For shizzle my nizzle. I love that. I love that line.
It's crazy that he, like, at the time when Kanye produced this, like, he came up with the beats, is that, like, he was just still relatively, like, in the
We watched the
documentary.
documentary. He wanted to be rapping, but they were like, "No, you're producing for us, man.
That's all you're doing? Yeah.
You make these beats, and we make hits over them."
Crazy, man.
And like, listen to these beats. They're fucking good quality beats.
Yeah.
Track 4 is titled "Girls, Girls, Girls." Gonna warn you in advance. This song has not aged that well.
Okay.
But it's still funny.
Okay.
But it's not. Some of the lines are very questionable, but you got to remember when it came out.
Okay.
Early 2000s. This was an era where, look, I wasn't around in the era, but you know, from doing my own history, this was a hip hop era where kind of anything goes.
Yeah. I know Motley Crue. Girls, girls, girls.
Yeah. So this is Jay-Z's take on it.
Okay. His take on it.
Track 4, "Girls, Girls, Girls."
I love girls, 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 I do adore. Yo, put your number on this paper, cause I would love to date ya. I got this Indian squad, the day that I met her. Asked her what tribe she with, red dye or feather. She said all you need to know is I'm not a hoe. And that Spanish chick, French chick, Indian and black. That's fried chicken, curry chicken, man, I'm getting fat. Roast pollo, French fries and crepes.
Girls, 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 girls. I do like how the other producers on this record that aren't Kanye
Yeah.
still match the production, so it's still cohesive.
Yeah.
I got this model chick that don't cook or clean, but she dress her ass off and her walk is mean.
Walk is mean.
She's always on the scene. A hypochondriac who says out, she bought whip it out. She's from Peru, that sniff Peru. She got a cousin that customs that gets you through. Got this weed head chick, she always catch me doing shit. Crazy girl, wanna leave me, but she always forgets. Got this Chinese chick, had to leave her quick, cause she kept bootlegging my shit.
Holy fuck. This ain't gonna be released in 2024.
No.
Okay, this was before. This was BB, right? Or before Beyonce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this was when he was dating Beyonce, I would be very concerned if I was Beyonce.
Yeah. Yes.
I'd say, what is this song?
Yes.
Jay?
Yeah.
I'm just a little confused on
What's
what you're-
going on here?
Yeah,
That's
I'm not writing from a different perspective. This isn't about me. You know?
Yeah.
It's a character. Don't worry about
No,
it.
I'm writing about Nas.
Yes, yeah. This is Nas's life. Don't worry. Don't even stress.
And then Beyonce's on the phone to Mrs. Nas, right?
Yeah, funny song. Doesn't age too well, but going through the record, it's still a good, fun song to listen to. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna skip it. I don't go back to it often, but I like it as a song. It's
Yeah,
catchy.
a couple of things have changed since then in terms of
certain terminology,
and stuff.
and I would like to see a kind of like a rendition of the song. There is a Girls Part 2 later on this record.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see like a modern take on this song from somebody. It would be cool, and it could be a male artist or a female artist rapping just a perspective of dating different kinds of people.
Yeah.
Like it'd be cool to see, like, I don't know, so I'll just say J. Cole. Like J. Cole going, verse by verse, talking about different girls that he's had relationships with that hasn't worked.
Yeah.
Or haven't worked out, and going, I feel like someone like J. Cole could pull that off.
Yeah.
And do it pretty well, and then maybe explain, like, I've dated a girl from this culture and this culture, and these are different things that I've experienced. But I'm still looking for love, and for someone that I want in my life. Track number 5.
Oh wow, very very poppin', the production, man. It's wide.
Come on and track like with a throwback jersey and a fitted. The weekends, man, the Stan Smith.
I hear a sitar.
I think so, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not a song that I'm gonna sing to in the club, but
Yeah.
fun to dance to.
Hear the fucking little,
Yeah.
great little things happening in here.
I love that line.
Ooh.
Yeah, fun track, really groovy, production top notch.
I really, really, really like that track. I don't think I'll be listening to it in the car though.
No.
I won't be cranking that song up.
One thing I want to say, and I know we've talked about Kanye a couple times because he's pretty heavily involved in this record, but not taking away from Jay-Z or anything that he's done on this record, but you can see the lyrical content from this time period.
Yeah.
And I think now that we're going back and we've done some of these older records from the 2000s, do you see why Kanye was such a breath of fresh air for everybody lyrically?
Totally.
Like listening to that, it's a fun song. Jay-Z's talking braggadocious stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun. MTV Cribs would have to be there for a week.
Yeah.
All that shit, it's great and it's fun to listen to. But when Kanye came out and started talking about, being self-conscious about going to the store and workout plans and all this kind of stuff and dropping out of school.
Totally good. Such a good point to bring up, because I could see the label execs and everybody going, okay,
why
you just stay back there and do what you're doing
and produce, because I heard your thing where your your song that you showed us, where you talk about how you peed in the bed with your cousin, that's not gonna fly.
Yeah, yeah.
So you stick to the beats, okay?
Yeah.
Track 6, You Don't Know.
Turn my music high, 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 high. The coke prices up and down like it's Wall Street home. But this is worse than the Dow Jones. Your brains are now blown all over that brown brone. One slip, you are now gone. I am home. Sure I do. I tell you the difference between me and them. They trying to get they ones. I'm trying to get them M's. The 40 million boy. I'm raping.
You know, with this song here, I would love to hear some spacing in between those. You know, the really, really busy. Bum, 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 right? It's going to come back.
Yeah.
Who is that? Is that James Brown? Because that's crazy.
I am a hustler, baby. I sell water to a well. I was born to get cake, move on and switch states. Cap the coupe with the roof gone and switch plates.
Wow, that scream is incredible.
Yeah, I could use some spacing in this song because the production's really nice, but it is all at once.
That was cool. It wasn't. It didn't. I don't know. It didn't move me emotionally.
Yeah, no, it didn't move me emotionally either. I've listened to that song before. It's it's not one I go back to. It's I could see when this came out, you being like, "Oh, it's fucking great. I love it."
Yeah.
But as time has gone on, and I've heard other great storytelling rappers, I lean more towards that. Like, I know Jay-Z is doing some good storytelling in terms of like how he, got his wealth, and I do like the, the second verse where he's like, take the number from before that I added up and add it to this number, and whatever, talking about how he's, became so wealthy through music. But just as time's gone on, I've heard, artists do the same thing, but in a better, just a more, maybe not better, just a way that I like more. I'm sure there's people.
It's your preference,
Yeah, just my personal preference.
Yeah.
Track 7, Hola Hovito.
That's the hop I'm talking about right here, Timbo.
This is Timberland, I think.
Hola Hovito. That's what they saying when I roll up with my people. All I wanna do is stroke you all crazy. My dick game is vicious, insane and bitches. Mommy keep coming back.
Dick game is vicious.
H.O.V.A in the drop, nasty thing, lane switching.
Beyonce heard this and was like, give me his number.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of singing there, right?
Yeah.
Fucking great production on this one, man. Wow.
Stay on my J.O. MJ, fade away, perfect. I rhyme sicker than every rhyme spitter. Every crime nigga that rhyme, I touch your mic because my mind's quicker.
Oh, I love that, eh?
You know what you gotta remember the whole time listening to this?
Yeah.
Is he does not write shit down.
That's crazy, eh? Yeah.
Everything just keeps in his head.
Plus got more flows to come. And if I ain't better than Big, I'm the closest one. So move over, hoes, choose H.O.V.A.
Who did this? Was that you said Timbaland?
I believe that's Timbaland, yeah.
What does it say here? Holy fuck, that was fire.
I love that track. That's one that I go back to pretty often on this record. That was a fun track. I like that.
That one gave me the most musical, physical
feeling. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you just want to move. He felt very percussive with his
very
flow.
Yeah.
And then
contrary to You Don't Know, was just flat for me.
Pretty stagnant.
That was like, see, that's the difference in who's doing the production on this stuff, right? This one you could hear when he went beepo, and all those kind of things make you. When you hear a beat like that,
it felt alive.
Exactly. You want to do those crazy things and have those weird. Just make all that shit up, right?
Yeah.
That was a cool track.
Track 8, Heart of the City, Ain't No Love.
What's up, y'all niggas niggas all fed up cause I got a little cheddar and my record's moving out the store.
Like that.
Get a couple chicks, get them to try to do E. Hopefully they're Menage before I reach my garage.
There's the French.
I drove every car. Some nice cooked food, some nice clean drawers. I said, where's the love?
That's great sample.
And then the Fuji's gonna break up. Now every day I wake up, handle my biz. I scramble like
This sample kind of brings up
Fuck, I was just gonna say,
to another level.
went right up there. You can feel it.
6 summers. Damn, where's the love?
Fucking brilliant sample work. Wow.
Yeah.
You can really hear when Jay is flowing over something he's really passionate
Good at,
about.
yeah.
Yeah, he just goes. It's fucking great, eh?
No, I love this song.
Ain't no love in the heart of the town. Oh, fuck.
You're still going.
Go, don't. That was. Okay, let's talk about this. I know now that Jay really can flow over funk.
Yes.
Like funk is.
When there's a beat, when the beat is like just, something perfect like that,
Yeah.
Jay-Z really stands out. Like, I liked him on the other tracks. Like,
Yeah.
I know we're shitting on You Don't Know, but it's a good song, but it just didn't feel like Jay-Z really was meant for that beat.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when you find him on a beat like this, where he's really just giving it his
Crazy.
all, it's magic. It really is.
Crazy. And the mixing with this Bobby Bland
Sample.
sample, it's just fucking. That was for me, man. I don't know. That was the fire on this thing right now so far. I love that. That would have been like, see, and I always pick the weird ones. Probably got 6 listens or something.
No, it's got a good amount. 50,
Yeah.
50 million.
50 million. Okay,
yeah,
it's in the 50 million club because that was so hot. 1-800-HOT.
Yeah.
When music gets your heart pumping like that and
Yeah.
wakes you up and makes you, and then it's like, holy fuck. It's I love that feeling when you hit all the marks, right? I know that you're not going to always hit all the marks on an album, right?
Yeah.
Because there's going to be ebbs and flows and highs and lows.
Yeah.
But this was like, for me, it was
One
a
of the
high.
high
Yeah.
point, yeah.
My
And who produced that one?
was that Kanye, right?
Kanye West.
Oh, fuck yeah. Wow, that was, wow. So now okay, I understand, boys at Rockefeller, why you're like saying, you stay back there and you just
Do
make
the
beats.
Yeah.
We don't want you talking about peeing in your brother's bed. Cousin's bed. That was really good.
Track number 9, Never Change.
Never change, this is Jay every day. I am a rock representer. Oh, summer the winner. Oh, dead or alive. 24/7, 365. He's reaching for your throat. Word on the screen.
See the difference in flow when there's a melody behind there?
Yeah.
Instead of the... I'm not going to shit on the same song again.
Take a guess on who produced this one.
That unknown guy from Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another Kanye beat.
Yeah.
If we stay strong, we can get paper longer than Pippin's arm. When it comes to the fam, I'm like a dog. I never speak, but I understand.
I love that line too.
When my soldiers at war,
Was this his first feature, possibly?
Might be, yeah.
Vocally?
He had vocal stuff before,
Yeah.
but I don't know if he wasn't featured on Jay-Z's stuff before.
You know what's crazy? It's Chicago produced, but it's still got New York flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like New York. It just got...
that's how it is now.
It's the lyrical theme that really brings the New York feel.
yeah. Fucking kick drum is sick too, man.
Yeah.
That was fucking great.
Another great one.
Never change.
They just got so much chemistry. Kanye on production, Jay-Z
Yeah.
on rapping. I understand why they wanted him to just keep producing for Rockefeller. And like we just said, at the time, you look at the lyrical content, Kanye's stuff really didn't match. It was ahead of its time, I would say.
Yeah.
Because later, or I don't know if it was ahead of its time or if Kanye, started the movement. But, rappers post college dropout started to get a lot more emotional.
Yeah.
Talking, being introspective about things. Not saying there wasn't before, because you got Tupac with songs like Dear Mama and stuff.
Yeah. For the longest time, growing up in the 70s with me and all that kind of, the tough guys were like, oh, there's my mom, man. Don't fuck with my mom. The mom tattoo and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't like...
But they never really was centric on myself, man. Like, you know what? You talked about my shoes and it hurt my feelings.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You never heard that.
Yeah, no, but it was just like, you don't fuck with my mom, because it was cool to put up, don't fuck with my mom, man.
Or don't fuck with my family.
But I think it's a different kind of thing.
A different kind of vulnerability that came post-college dropout, I'd say.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yesterday I was laying in bed. I listened to Big Steppers, and I got to Anti-Diaries, and I listened to the part close to the end of Anti-Diaries where Kendrick is talking about Drake and Kanye, and he could never see them, and he didn't understand it at the time.
Yeah.
And there was this growth in him.
Was that in Anti-Diaries? I think that was in Father Time.
Father Time. With Sampha. Yeah. But where he couldn't comprehend that. Yeah. And I think that's for another generation listening to that.
And growing from that.
Is growing from that, hearing that and saying, you know what? You can beef and get back together and work things out and that. So
track number 10, song Cry.
Sounds like a love song. Most incredible, baby. I can't see him coming down my eyes, so I gotta make the song cry. Good dude, I know you love me like cook food, even though a nigga gotta move like a crook move. We used to use umbrellas to face the bad weather, so now we travel first class to change the forecast. Never in bunches.
That's great. Love that.
I loved your point of view, cause you held no punches. Nigga had very bad credit, you helped me lease that whip. You helped me get the keys to that V.6. We were so happy poor, but when we got rich, that's when the signals got crossed.
I really like this one.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
I like this one lyrically a lot.
Yeah.
You don't throw away what we had just like that. I was just fucking them girls. I was gonna get right back. They say you can't turn a bad girl good, but once a good girl's gone bad, she's gone forever. I can't see him coming down my eyes, so I gotta make the song cry.
Jay has
fucked up, girl.
some emotional.
Yeah, no, he gets vulnerable.
He gets vulnerable and emotional. Some fucking great lines in this song. I tell you, man, I'd probably shit if I seen Jay. I think I'm gonna bring up this thought about Kendrick, but see, with a live band.
I'd love to see him with a live band,
like like large 20-piece.
Oh, a whole bunch of
a 20-piece
trumpets,
a whole
bass,
background
drums,
singers,
guitar.
all that. Yeah.
So like I said earlier, this one's one of my favorites. Just for the lyrical content.
Like
the beat's not anything too crazy.
No, but you know that's the beat wasn't too crazy, but the female vocalist in the back, and when Jay's spitting bars over soul samples and
it works.
The Timbaland one for me is absolute standout, right?
Yeah.
But what I want to say is, before I get back into the song, is that I saw a TikTok reel of anybody out there can tell me if they've seen this, but it's a TikTok reel of Kendrick on stage. Mm-hmm. He's doing his shit. And then they go in the camera underneath, and the band is live.
Oh, really?
Just like The Weeknd, Ricky Lewis and everybody.
Yeah.
And then in the comments, there was so many comments from people, which you and I have talked about so much in hip-hop, that said, get those guys on the stage.
Yeah, bring them up there.
This guy had a PRS, Paul Reed, guitar. He was fucking wailing. I don't know what song it was, because they didn't have Kendrick's part, but they showed Kendrick through the hole, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, man.
Put him on stage around Kendrick. Let them be shown, and just.
I tell you, it's electricity, man. It's crazy.
Remember the JID show, and the guy, what was he coming out with? What instrument was that?
He had we called it a keytar. It was he was playing keyboard like a guitar.
Yeah. The guitar, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I wanted to say that. Where one of the lines in the track here was remind me of your mom so much, because again, when I met your mom, no teeth, 137 pounds wet, I had $5 in my pocket and a fake guitar. But I love the line here he said where it was we were fucking broke, right? And she stood by him, and it's just such a
a relatable line for you.
Yeah, it was just a relatable line, and it was just like, I know this is. There's it sounds like she left, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like he was possibly doing something with the girls, possibly.
Yeah.
That got him in trouble because then she ended up leaving.
Leaving in the song, yeah.
Yeah.
Track 11, All I Need. Let's cover the Radiohead song.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Jigga man, BC's and M.E.Z. Oskino and Sparks and Free Weezy. Mickey, Mallory, Chris and Eve. Better watch and observe me and learn how to earn better. I burn cheddar. I set fire to your empire.
Cheddar's got to be money, right?
Yes.
I was thinking he must love cheese.
When I'm off in the club, she fit right in my shoe. Gotta switch it to my waist.
I'm digging this fucking beat.
Yeah.
Like, it's off in such a cool way.
I could give you a clip, but no ad-libbing, nigga. Stick to the script. Now all I need is a high-price lawyer, cause it's foul ways nowadays. Everybody saw you and they coming to court. Any given Sunday, gunplay's optional. However niggas want it like soul to soul. Whoever got hops get blocked, go to the hole. The Kimbe Matumbo of this rap shit. Then I dump dough on the DA desk. And I flee scot-free and PP on the steps. Got no respect.
I like
perfect with him.
Yeah.
I'll be on my way. Listen,
This one's catchy.
Yeah.
Rockefeller Records. Young.
Fuck, he's got some big timpanis going there.
Yeah. This one's one of my favorite produced tracks.
Oh,
I know, I hate that they teased it.
yeah.
Could have used that in the track.
That fucking trumpet guy must be pissed, eh?
Yeah, just get a little bit.
Yeah. Come on in.
One of my favorite produced tracks on that record. I don't go back to that one too often.
Yeah.
Just because I don't really connect
Yeah.
with it like lyrically.
Yeah.
But it's a really well produced song.
Yeah. I like the timing in that song.
Yeah.
I think the
very odd timing, but it worked.
odd timing, and then those shots. It's a boom, boom, boom. Super tight little. Those are like pigskin, like literally stretched the fuck so tight
For those. Yeah.
Right? It was really cool. That was a cool track.
The next track is probably the most known track, most iconic off this record. It's called Renegade.
Okay.
It's produced by Eminem.
Okay.
Eminem, underrated producer, I'd say. You know, like he's usually got Dr. Dre on his beats for his records, but he can produce some good songs. Track number 12, Renegade.
This is crazy because I never knew they worked together.
Yeah,
I didn't ever think they would work.
Yeah, this is one of the bigger hip hop songs.
Wow.
Ever.
Oh,
Sounds Eminem right away.
Stanish.
Yeah.
Or they're boom, 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 boom.
Motherfuckers say that I'm foolish. I only talk about Jews. Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? I give you the news with a twist is just his ghetto point of view. The renegade, you've been afraid. I penetrate pop culture, bring them a lot closer to the block where they pop toasters. Bet everything you worth, you lose your tie, your shirt.
Since I'm in a position to talk to these kids and they listen, I ain't no politician, but I kick it with them.
This is pretty cool to have them in the same thing for me to hear this, man.
But if it don't, then y'all will swallow the truth, grin and bear it. But I'm debated, disputed, hated, and viewed in America as a motherfucking drug addict. Like you didn't experiment, cause here we go. He's chicken, chicken, I'm the sinister. Mr. Kiss my ass is just a renegade. Never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day, cause I'm a renegade.
Any given time of day.
This is fucking great. I didn't expect these two together.
Two legends.
Raising my fingers to critics, raising my head to the
I
sky.
love that.
I did it most time before I died.
See, while I'm waving the pistol at 60 Christians against me, go to war with the Mormons, take a bath with the Catholics in holy water. No wonder they try to hold me under longer. I'm a motherfucking spiteful, delightful, eyeful, the new Ice Cube.
Ah, man. Fuck.
So,
Wow. Holy
there
shit.
you go.
I
Renegade.
did not know this was going to happen today.
Yeah, this was a big moment in hip hop.
I did not know these two worlds came together.
Yeah, it's something spectacular.
And you know what I have to say is that if you would have told me this, I would have not thought it worked. And I just want to point out two completely different styles
For sure.
that really work well together.
Yeah, that you don't. It's like when food analogy. When
Yeah.
fries and you dip them in your ice cream at McDonald's.
Yes. Yeah. You get the salt. Yeah.
And the sweetness.
Sweet. Yeah.
That's like what this is here.
They're actually intertwining at one point.
Yeah.
Where they're doing the chorus, which
yeah.
is like, and each have such a completely. Eminem's got his flow. Jay's got his flow. They're completely different.
But they work together.
I love that. I'll tell you, it sounded like a pipe to me. I don't know how Eminem got that in the production. When you have a fucking steam pipe and it lets out by accident, it was.
Yeah,
right?
I love that sound.
That was in there, and the creepy stuff.
Really cool dark beat that is definitely Eminem style, but there's enough Jay-Z in there that he can rap over it.
Yeah, and I love that they were both talking about their perspectives of where they came from.
Right? And how they're influencing the rap industry and everything. And
that was like a complete, that was a bonding moment.
Well, yeah, I think the first verse Jay-Z is talking about, like the bad look that he gets from certain people, was it like publishers or just, because of his music. Yeah. And, being judged. And then Eminem comes in saying, like, he starts his verse saying that he's the only one that can speak to these people because, back then, it was funny. I mean, you had different audiences. Some people hated Eminem, but there was a bunch of suburban white kids that would just listen to anything Eminem said.
Put out,
Like, and he was like a fucking preacher to them. In the early 2000s. So they're talking about that in the beginning, and then he's talking about how the religious people were kind of attacking Eminem. Track 13, Blueprint, Mama Loves Me.
The return of the 808 in here.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Feel me now, listen. Mama loved me, Pop left me, Mickey fed me, Annie dressed me, Mama raised me, Pop I miss you. God help me forgive him, I got some issues. Kitchen table, that's where I hone my skills. Jazz made me believe this shit was real. Labels turned me down, couldn't foresee. Black and living a movie, not living by rules.
Oh, I love those stabs.
Yeah.
Blake, you still with me, nigga? What did I say?
He really fit everybody in there, right?
Yeah. Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to everyone.
I like that track. It's another one of him, being pretty emotional.
Yeah. It's a real testament to his character because a lot of people. They make it to the top and they forget everybody who did all those little things
for them.
From fucking changing diapers, he named every single person who did anything on his way and working up, and that's he grew up in such a tough environment, right? And to be where he is now, that just shows his character.
Yeah, there's even the part where he says he references somebody, I don't know who exactly, but he's like, how could I almost forget?
Yes, yeah.
You or whatever.
Yeah. No, it's very that's his character, right? I've seen him in a couple of interviews, and I just think he'd be just a fucking cool guy to sit down with.
I'd love the chat.
Jay, if you're in Vancouver.
The Nardwuar interview up in
that was the best.
Pemberton.
That was the deepest thing. If anybody's haven't seen it, ask. Nardwuar starts his interviews and says, "Who are you?" And then the person usually says who they are.
Yeah, I'm whatever. I'm
Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
He goes, "I'm just a guy with a dream." And he goes on this whole thing. He goes, "No, who are you?" And he goes, "Oh, you mean I'm
Jay-Z.
I'm Jay-Z." Yeah. It's the best.
Track 14, Lyrical Exercise.
Once you memorize a sentence, it's like an exercise. Y'all niggas can't be serious right now. I'm the all-time heavyweight champion of flowers. Holla, I jog in the graveyard, spawn the same ring that was housed by the building where Malcolm X was slain. I wake up the birds when the nerves are asleep. I'm catching my second wind the second the first one ends. I am.
Fuck, this is a song that makes you want to fucking get up and do something.
Yeah.
I love how long those toms go. You think they're gonna end, and then wham.
This is in my push-up playlist.
Is it?
Yeah, this and like Till I Collapse and stuff.
I'm adding this chorus to my lovemaking. Right.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, it's addicting.
I keep saying, you're supposed to tell me to shut the fuck up.
So if you have a push-up playlist or a workout playlist, I recommend chucking that one in there. That's that and Renegade, honestly.
Yeah.
But I love working out to that, and I've got Till I Collapse on there by Eminem. What else do I have? I got some Tupac. It's hip hop that helps me work out. It's weird.
I'm Right Said Fred for me. I'm too sexy. I like how he started that one too, because you were telling me that he just memorizes shit and doesn't. He's not. I see a lot of people in the studio with an iPad now, right?
Yeah, right.
So they have their iPad and they're reading the lyrics. I was taught once when I was in the studio that and I got to really agree with Jay-Z on this, is that when you are actually reading. So here I have my fucking my Neumann, and then I have my lyrics over here, and I'm trying to read and sing.
There
was someone on that, right? But if it's in your head already,
memorized,
it's coming out differently into that microphone,
which is why he memorizes all the verses. He writes it and then keeps it in his head. So if it's going to be like, I was running down the street and I saw a cat, damn, that motherfucker looked real fat.
Yeah.
And then you would just keep that in your head. You're like, okay, I like that bar, even though that's a shit bar. Don't ever, no one use that bar.
Someone's going to use that bar.
But then you keep that in your head, and you're like, okay, I was running down the street, and I saw a cat. Damn, that motherfucker looked fat. Then you keep going to the next bar. But you keep that circulating in your head until you got the whole verse.
Yeah, and you know the great thing about that is that when you sing that bar back again, right?
You're doing it a little bit differently.
You have room,
and you're finding the right rhythm and stuff.
Yes, and you have right room. You have some groove. You could say that motherfucker's fat.
Yeah. Damn, that motherfucker looked really fat. Chilling in my house, and I see a fucking cat out the window. What the fuck's he doing? Eating all this cat food. Man, he's getting all this fucking money from cat food. I got motherfuckers coming.
So that's an example. So Jay, very smart at learning his
rapping ability.
Yes.
Track 15, Girls, 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 Part 2.
Oh God, we both did the same thing.
Girls, I do adore. Yo, put your number on this paper, cause I would love to date you. Holla at you when I come on tour.
Well, so that's carried over, right?
No, she does his homework. I give her in-house tutoring. In and out, I'm moving through her student body union. And she call me professor, say, Daddy, come and test her, so she could fail on purpose and repeat the semester. I'm like, girl.
Right, you know what?
I like this one more.
I like this one better. I could hear this.
The beat gives me a graduation bonus track. I'll show you after.
Okay, yeah. About. It's crazy because he's talking about graduation and stuff on here, right? That was really cool.
I actually like that way it ended, because for me that was never the ending. The ending was Blueprint, Mama Loves Me, which I thought was a good ending.
Yeah.
But because of the CD that I had. But to me that was actually, I like that ending a lot. It was cute.
It says it's hidden, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it says featuring production by Kanye. What do you got there?
Yeah, then maybe it's probably Kanye. It sounds very Kanye. Jay-Z, Blueprint.
That was really, really cool.
Really fun album.
Fun album. I love that there was some great areas where he was over some funk. The Timbaland one stood out to me. That was, for sure. That was a real highlight. That beat was that was the fire beat on the album for me. Shout out to Timbaland, and he makes boots, right? Is it?
No.
Oh, he's not.
Does he? Is he? I don't know.
I don't know.
Tim's?
I don't know.
I don't think he does.
No, I thought it was his boots or something like that.
I have no idea.
Anyways, fire beat and Jay spitting over top of funky music, like the more funkier stuff was really, really cool, right? So are you looking to see if Timbaland?
Yeah, I want to see if he owns it. No, it can't be. Founded in 1952.
Okay, no, that's.
I don't think he has anything to do. Maybe he named himself after the boots. Actually, that's
maybe
probably the case. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. This is a record that I've listened to. When I was younger, haven't gone back to as much. But there's some classic songs on there. Renegade is one that people always talk about. I'm sure people were excited to.
That was an absolute crazy surprise.
Yeah,
because that was like. I wouldn't think M being on
Yeah,
here.
the only like real feature on the record too.
That's right.
Like there was some vocals from Kanye and some other people, but that was like the only actual feature.
Yeah.
I hope you guys had fun listening to this record with us. Take care, guys. We'll see you soon. Much love.
Bye-bye.
Peace.